Hey guys, it's me, Mini Mix Animation here, I'm here today just to give you guys a few tips and tricks to people who, aren't considered themselves amateurs at stop motion. I am one of them, so I'm pretty much giving myself tips today. But if you need help on animating, just send me a message below. I can always help you with it. But one thing I do always pick up is that sometimes the stop motions, which I see, aren't actually stop motions. For example, if I take this Undertaker figure here, which I'm going to use in my next animation, which is a tombstone, but say I take the Undertaker and I put him here, right? Say this is the first frame, the first picture, right? Sometimes what I notice is, say it's an entrance of the Undertaker, right? In the second picture, the person decides to put him up here, right? That is not a stop motion. That is a photo gallery. If you upload those, you will have a lot of haters, and you probably might not understand why. But ladies and gentlemen, this is an example of why people do not like those sort of animations, because they're not stop motion, right? You want to show how he's moving. So, you're just going to move the figure picture by picture, and then you might have stairs there, but, I don't have stairs there. You're going to have to show how they get up there. Otherwise, there's no point in doing the stop motion on that. Another thing I want to talk about is string. Now, string can be very frustrating, so I can understand if many of you don't use it or many of you do. So, string, you can't see it clearly. You might be able to now, because I've looped it. And just do this. You can see that white bit of string there, hopefully. But string can be very annoying. So one good tip is to tip it to tie it around the underneath of the figure here. Undertaker again. Also, either use cotton string or fishing line string. I use cotton string because fishing line string, I can't find it, and cotton string is pretty cheap where I live, so I think it should be cheap around the world, but, there could be places where it's expensive. I don't know if there is a place, but who knows, it could happen. Anyway, what you do is, if you say you want to make him seem like he's flying, first of all, you're going to have to tie the end of the strings together, but because I'm going to show you this, guys, quickly, all you got to do is this. Now, because I've got a white background, you might just see it, but you won't see it on the figure. And you're probably thinking, oh my god, he's actually flying, I just need to edit out the string. Just go and use paint if you want. I use paint, because I'm not, when I upload my full matches, say The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, or The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30, pretty disappointing match, in my opinion, but, everyone's gonna lose eventually. Ultimate Warrior, Goldberg, they all lose. But yeah, so you put it under the arm if you want to make him look like he's flying. Now, if you want to make him look like he's doing this, all you've got to do is attach strings in between the arm here and here. Now, one big, and I mean massive big tip I'm going to give you guys is, before you do the stop motion, know what you're going to do. And you'll probably think, oh yeah, I'm going to do Sweet Chin Music. Right, and you're probably just going to do this with your figure and straight away take the pictures. Don't do that. First thing you got to do is at least practice what you're going to do, and do it as if you're taking the pictures. Do it slowly so you know what you're going to do, and do it several times. And then when you're ready, you take the pictures. Now, not every time does it work, first time. For example, the first animation I did, well, not the first ever, but the most recent one I did with the Jeff Hardy, the second one, it took me 2 attempts. The reason why is because the Titantron, when it came to jumping off, he kept slipping, so I had to redo it. And then at one point, he didn't slip at all, so I was quite happy. But it takes time, right? And another tip is one that EWW gave me. Animations. I don't know if that's EO Animations or EWW, however you want to say it. But he gave me a good tip, and it's to include more pictures. Why include more pictures? Because the more pictures you add, the better, right? You can always remove pictures, but you can't add them later when you don't have them, right? It's going to be a lot harder. So that's always a good tip. Now, spoiler alert for my next animation, I'm just going to be doing a tombstone. I don't know whether it's for my CWPA tournament match thing, but the owner, the administrator, TWS, who I mentioned in my last video in the comment section, he's made a channel of it, so if you are in CWPA or you like CWPA, please subscribe. CWPA is getting more members, which is good, but I would say CWA, if you're a basic animator or a new animator or you're someone who's starting to get used to animating, it's a good form. Alright, because we're teaching each other how to animate. We're saying, alright, this is good, this is good, this is good, you know. How can we improve? What moves should we learn how to do? You know, we're always teaching each other stuff. So that's another thing I wanted to say. Now, last thing I want to say is figures. It's always different when it comes to animating figures, whether it's always a different feeling. For example, I prefer to animate Jax. That's just what I feel, right? I don't have many Jax Deluxe figures. I have loads of Jax, you know, normal figures. As Mattel say, basic figures. I wouldn't blame them because they are pretty basic. But Elite figures are just as good, especially the new ones. The new ones, they're a lot more loose than the old ones. For example, here's a Dean Ambrose figure. I cannot remember. I think it's Series 26. Sorry guys, I stopped collecting for a while, so I'm trying to get my head back in the game, as they say. But you can see he's very loose in the legs, arms, yeah, quite loose. You know, abdomen here, quite loose. Head, yep. Waist especially in this figure, but I don't know if it's on other figures as well. And then I compare that to my Elite Series 7 Edge, one of my favorites. However, there's a problem with it, and it's just the coloring on the leg. But, you know, if I compare it with him, Edge, you know, his leg, it does eventually go up, but you gotta apply a little bit more pressure than the Dean Ambrose. But the arm on this one's fine, the abdomen on this one's fine, as well as the head. But it's just the hair that restricts it. But yeah, there's a massive difference also in size. If you're going to make them these two animate, at least, you know, say, alright, is that the right size? That's not the right size, guys. Just telling you that just in case you thought of doing that as an animation, it ain't the right size. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. These are just tips on how to animate, and I hope you guys feel, you know, like you learn a little bit more when it comes to animating. And, you know, that you remember these steps. Also, last tip, when you're doing animation, take it slowly. Be calm. Don't rush it, right? If you rush it, you're more likely to mess up than if you don't. For example, me, well, I don't rush it. What I do is I had a cup of water here, and I drank it, though. But yeah, just have a cup of water, maybe a snack, maybe something like that. But if you have chocolate, say that's a snack, right? Don't let it melt on your fingers, you know, because then it makes your figure all greasy. And if you need the toilet, don't go, okay, I'm gonna do this really quickly and then I'm gonna go. Don't do that. Just put the figure down, go to the toilet, come back, check what the last picture was, then continue from there. Or if you need to sleep, sleep. Then come back the next day, check with the, you know, where it was last, and then finish off from there. And I know you're probably saying, well, I want to get it finished on time. Well, you know, there's no deadline unless you're on CWPA or another online forum for wrestling. Then the only problem is you should have done it earlier. But, you know, okay, fine, you want to rush it, but it's not everything's good rushed, unless I'm talking about my, one of my geography homeworks, which I did, which got the highest level in the year. Hell yeah, but, you know, I'm just saying don't rush it, right? Rushing's probably one of the worst things you can do. So, if you've been listening to this and not actually watching it, you're smart, alright? Because I should have suggested that earlier. Just listen to it instead and do whatever you want. Like go on another website or something in the second tab. But thanks guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time in the next animation I do, which is The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. And I'm thinking of doing a wrestling series, but I'll talk about that later on. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Big shout out to TWS owner and CWPA Animations, which is his other channel for what I submit and everyone else on the CWPA forums website. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time, and I hope you've learned something new today. Thanks for watching. Mini Mix Animation.